Attention, we are live in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. I now call the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. When addressing the magistrate, please state your name, address, and speak clearly into the microphone. If you are planning to speak during this hearing, you must sign the speakers list located at the front door so you can be called. Any person who decides to appeal a decision of this Code Enforcement Special Magistrate will need a record of the proceedings. The record is comprised of testimony and evidence upon which an appeal is based. It is your responsibility to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made. By law, you have 30 days from the date of my order to appeal my decision to circuit court. Presentations by the county, respondents, and opposition must be kept to a maximum of 10 minutes each. The special magistrate may recess at 12:30 and reconvene at 1:30 to conclude its business if needed. The basic process of this hearing is followed. We will conduct an oath of witness, and then your case will be announced. Staff will present their evidence on your case, and then you will be allowed to rebut that evidence and explain what has occurred. We'll close the hearing and announce a decision. I may ask questions or allow other witness testimony if necessary. Depending on my order, the county staff may have to later conduct an inspection to see if you have complied. If the staff believes you have not complied, you'll receive a notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest that notice. Otherwise, it will be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. For false alarm or water resource cases, if you have not complied by paying the past due burglar alarm fine or water resources penalty fine within the time ordered, you will receive a notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest that notice. Otherwise, it will be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. If you have any questions, these rules are outlawed by Hillsborough County Code of Ordinances and Laws, Chapter 14, Article 2, Section 14. And before we begin, please silence all electronic devices. First order of business, I approve the minutes for the previous meeting, November 2nd, 2021. We're ready for the oath.
Will all county staff please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. First case is on page 1, item 1, WR 200-1583, Progress Residential Borrower 11, LLC, and we have service.
Is there someone present for this? Okay. Second.
Good morning. I am Carmine Pisano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is the case of WR 2001583. On Monday, 12/28/2020 at 15:31 hours, Officer Omar Cortez arrived at the location of 1743 Chatham Green Circle to find a sprinkler system watering the front, side, and rear yard. This location is south of the Olafire River. Watering days were Monday and Thursday. This is a watering day, but during non-watering hours. Notice of violation was sent on 1/11/2021. Default letter was sent on 2/15/2021. Notice of hearing was sent 8/20/2021. The fine is $100.
Previous violations?
This is a case in 2020, and this fee schedule was different than it is now, so there was no prior violation at that time.
Okay. I rule in case WR 2001583 that based on the evidence presented, I find the violator has failed to pay the water resources penalty fine for illegal sprinkling imposed by section 111-7 Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Part B, Public Utilities. I grant the violator 30 days to pay the water penalty fine imposed. Order if that payment is not made by that date, a fine of $15 per day be assessed. Next case, please.
Excuse me. Item 2, WR 21-01103. This case complied as of December 1st. Item number 3, WR 21-01998. This case complied as of December 7th. Page 2, item 4, case number WR 21-02044. Devin Croran Barco. We have service and no one is present.
I'm Carmine Pisano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is case WR 2102044. On Wednesday, 7/21/2021 at 6:33 a.m., Officer Ted Baker arrived at 10107 Golden Wonder Drive to find a sprinkler system watering an area on the front left side. This location is south of the Alafaya River. The watering day is on Thursday. This is a non-watering day during non-watering hours. Notice of violation was sent on 7/29/2021. Default letter sent 8/31/2021, and a notice to hearing was sent on 10/21/2021. The fine is $100. The previous violation is on 2/3/2021, case number WR 2100095, and a warning was issued.
I rule in case WR 2102044 that based on the evidence presented, the violator has failed to pay the water resources penalty fine for illegal sprinkling imposed by section 111-7 Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Part B, Public Utilities. I grant the violator 30 days to pay the water penalty fine imposed. Order if that payment is not made by that date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed.
Item 5, case number WR 21-02048. Lydia Sims and Tommy Sims. We have service and no one is present.
Okay. I am Carmine Pisano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is the case of WR 2102048. On Wednesday, 7/21/2021 at 6:40 hours, Officer Ted Baker arrived at 10117 Crescent Fringe Drive to find the sprinkler system watering on the front right side of the driveway. This location is south of the Alafaya River. Watering day is a Friday. This is a non-watering day during non-watering hours. A notice of violation was sent on 7/20/2021. Default letter sent on 8/31/2021. And a notice of hearing was sent on 9/22/2021. This is a $100 fine. There's a previous violation on 2/2/2021, case number WR 2100094, where a warning was issued.
I rule in case WR 2102048 that based on the evidence presented, the violator has failed to pay the water resources penalty fine for illegal sprinkling imposed by section 111-7 Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Part B, Public Utilities. I grant the violator 30 days to pay the water penalty fine imposed. Order if that payment is not made by that date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed.
Item 6, case number WR 2102092. Rebecca Leslie Marth Gabald and Kyle Anthony Singleton. We have service and no one is present.
Carmine Pisano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is the case of WR 2102092. On Thursday, 7/29/2021 at 6:37 hours, Officer Ted Baker arrived at 10603 Avian Forest Drive to find the sprinkler system watering along the right side of the home. This location is south of the Alafaya River. Watering day is a Tuesday. This is a non-watering day during non-watering hours. A notice of violation was sent on 8/4/2021. A default letter was sent on 9/17/2021, and a notice of hearing sent on 10/21/2021. This is a $200 fine. There are previous violations on 3/17/2021, case number WR 2100420, where a warning was issued, and on 6/17/2021, violation case WR 2101823. It was a $100 fine and it was adjudicated at a hearing on 11/2/2021.
A ruling case WR 2102092, the base names presented the violator has failed to pay the water resources penalty fine for illegal sprinkling imposed by section 111-7 Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Part B, Public Utilities. I grant the violator 30 days to pay the water penalty fine imposed. Order if payment is not made by that date, a fine of $25 per day be assessed.
Page 3, item 7, case number WR 2102131, JP Morgan Chase Bank National Association. We have service and no one is present.
I am Carmine Pisano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case is WR 2102131. On Friday, 8/6/2021 at 4:23 hours, Officer Ted Baker arrived at 10391 Big Bend Road to find the sprinkler system watering an area in the parking lot. This location is south of the Alafaya River, and their watering day is on a Monday. This is a non-watering day during non-watering hours. A notice of violation was sent on 8/11/2021. Default letter sent on 9/17/2021. Notice of hearing was sent out on 10/21/2021. The fine was incorrectly listed on your paper as $400, but due to the current scale, the corrected fine should be $100. There was a previous violation on 2021 on 5/19/2021, case number WR 2101412, and a warning was issued. They came with the $400 fee because there were previous violations in 2020, and under the current scale, they don't count.
Understand. Thank you. I rule in case WR 2102131 that based on the evidence presented, the violator has failed to pay the water resources penalty fine for illegal sprinkling imposed by section 111-7 Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Part B, Public Utilities. I grant the violator 30 days to pay the water penalty fine imposed. In order, if that payment is not made by that date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed.
Item 8, case number WR 2102149, Amanda Rose Torrey and Sean Michael Torrey. We have service and no one is present.
I am Carmine Pisano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is the case WR 2102149. On Friday, 8/6/2021 at 5:30 hours, Officer Ted Baker arrived at 10238 Carloway Hills Drive to find the sprinkler system watering an area on the front right side of the driveway. This location is south of the Alafaya River. Their watering day is on a Friday. This is a watering day during non-watering hours. The notice of violation was sent on 8/11/2021. Default letter sent on 9/17/2021, and the notice of hearing was sent out on 10/21/2021. The fine is $100. There's a previous violation on 6/18/2021, case WR 2101868, and a warning was issued at that time.
I rule in case WR 2102149 that based on the evidence presented, the violator has failed to pay the water resources penalty fine for illegal sprinkling imposed by section 111-7, Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Part B, Public Utilities. Grant the violator 30 days to pay the water penalty fine imposed. Order if that payment is not made by that date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed.
Item 9, case number WR 2102163, Erica Alvera Douglas. We have service and no one is present.
I am Carmine Pisano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is the case WR 2102163. On Tuesday, 8/10/2021 at 6:39 hours, Officer Ted Baker arrived at 11505 Sage Canyon Drive to find a sprinkler system watering an area along the rear of the home. This location is south of the Yellowfire River. Watering day is on a Wednesday. This is a non-watering day during non-watering hours. The notice of violation was sent on 8/12/2021. Default letter sent on 9/17/2021, and the notice of hearing sent out on 10/21/2021. The fine is $100. There's previous violation on 3/30/2021, WR 2100557, where a warning was issued.
I rule in case WR 2102163 that based on the evidence presented, the violator has failed to pay the water resources penalty fine for illegal sprinkling imposed by section 111-7, Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Part B, Public Utilities. I grant the violator 30 days to pay the water penalty fine imposed. Order if that payment is not made by that date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed. Next case, please. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, if you have a yellow truck with a dog in it with the windows up, can you go out with the officer and take care of that for me, please? Thank you, sir. 3020. Yes, ma'am. Next case, please.
Next case, that concludes all the W cases. We're going on to the Land Natural Resources. Page 4, item 11, case number L 206274, Miguel A. Santana and Sherry G. Santana. And someone is present. Please come forward. And we have service. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please
turn your
state your name.
microphone on, sir.
Turn the mic on.
Miguel A. Santana,
Your name and address.
4114 Cypress Bayou Drive, 33618.
Good morning, Ms. Hull.
Good morning. This is Krista Hull, the Environmental Supervisor with the Development Services Department. This is case L 206274. Property owner and violator is Miguel A. Santana, Sherry G. Santana. Violation address is 4114 Cypress Bayou Drive, Tampa, Florida. Violation observed is unpermitted removal of one laurel oak tree measuring 30 inches DBH. That's measured at diameter of 4.5 feet. Violation ordinance violated is section 4.01.03A, first inspection, August 27th, 2020. First notice, August 28th, 2020. Last inspection, November 19th, 2021. 4 inspections conducted. Wayne Doyne is the inspector for this case. I would like Tim to speak up and present the photo evidence.
Morning, Wayne Doyne, Hillsborough County Environmental Code. This was a Google picture taken in July 2019 of the tree in question. First visit was 8/27/2020. This tree had been removed without a permit and the yard was resodded. Google photos showing what tree looked like prior to removal. Next. Recheck a property on 9/2/2021, 9/28/2021, and 11/19/2021 with no new replantings. I did try to hand deliver and mailing of notice of violations to the tree doctors. They were all unsuccessful. I attempted numerous addresses and we moved forward with just the property owner. Staff recommendations: plan to donate 30 inches DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 30 inches to the restoration fund or a combination of the plantings and contribution to the fund within 90 days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade number 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. The property owner, Miguel A. Santana and Sherry G. Santana, will be responsible for resolving this matter with the county. Fines will be issued for failure to meet timeframes.
Okay, Mr. Santana, what would you like to tell us?
When I was on the Zoom meeting in October 10th, one of the rulings you guys said if we can help contact the tree doctors, it was on that meeting, on the Zoom meeting with you guys. And I was able to contact.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You were in a case already in October?
Yes, in October here. I did a online meeting with you guys and you paused it for 30 days to see if I could contact the tree doctor to help you guys out.
Got it.
And I was able to, with no problem, contact the tree doctor and I forwarded all the information to the Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. They received it. And so I was able to contact the tree doctor with no problem.
That's good.
And I forwarded all the information. They even email blasted me like we're still in business and all that. So, so for him saying that they haven't been able to contact it, I was able to do it with no problem. And I went through the whole process. I turned all my paperwork in. I even showed the text where he said he pulled the permits and all that. So, I mean, we never wanted to take the tree down, but we had just put a new roof and everybody said this tree's dying. And I had 3 arborists come, gave me quotes because we just wanted to trim the tree. But everybody said this tree's dying because every storm would come. It wasn't just like a little tree. We would have big 2-inch limbs fall down. They're all rotten up. We'd be picking up. So the tree was dying. And so when they picked up the tree, water just came out of it. So it wasn't a tree that it just had to be done.
As part of your paperwork, do you have something from an arborist that says that the tree was?
I had quotes and I have.
No, not proposals from tree services to take it down. Do you have something from the arborist saying that the tree is in fact
just
dead?
everybody said it needed to be removed from the quotes they sent me.
Yeah.
And that's what, I'm not a tree expert and I just
that's why you need a tree expert. By the time you're done with this, you're going to be a tree expert.
I've become a tree expert.
Yes, sir.
Now.
Yes, sir.
And so, that's really, I thought the process was done because this is my first time in 60 years being alive that I've ever took a tree down. So that's the process. And, but I thought I tried to do everything right. I didn't just go to the first person to do the tree. I had 3 other estimates just to see if I can find someone that gives me a different answer.
Sure.
Because we didn't want the tree down because it's a nice tree. And then, but that's really what it comes down to. And to put another tree in that spot, you can't because the root system is so bad. There's no way you can dig a hole to put a tree in. And we do have other trees in our yard because when the gentleman came out from the code enforcement the first time, he said, you got to have some trees in your yard. I said, I do have trees. He says, no, you don't. And I said, I have 4 trees in my backyard. And he said, well, I said, do you want to go back and look at it? He said, no, I don't need to go look at it. You know what I mean? But I do have trees in my yard. And even my lawn guy who's been taking, he said, your grass actually is creating more oxygen than what that tree was doing. Because that tree was dying, so it was taking more oxygen. So your grass, that we never had grass, is actually creating more oxygen for the environment. Mm-hmm. So, and that's basically what it is.
I understand. Ms. Hull, can you answer the question for him in regards to placing a tree elsewhere on his property? I think his concern is the root structure.
Okay. For one, the county has offered several choices here. You can plant 30 inches of trees on your property, does not have to be in the same location, or you can donate to the county tree restoration fund in regards to $65 an inch. Or you can also donate trees to a county facility. One of the parks is open to take donations. I will let you know that the officer took the information you gave us, and unless we can get due service at their business office and they accept it, we cannot proceed forward against a tree company. So I don't know why they're not receiving our notices, but I'm glad to hear that they are communicating with you.
Right.
So maybe you can work out a deal with them to resolve this matter on your own, but we're going to have to work
Now-
with you.
On you, when you say the $65 per inch, what is that? 60 just for the diameter or for an 8-foot tree, or how's that come out to be?
It's 30 inches.
Okay.
And so 30 inches is the trunk diameter of the tree. So the restoration fund is based on that trunk diameter. So it'd be 30 inches times 65.
And how did you measure the 30 inch of the tree if you weren't there to measure the tree when it came down?
The officer uses the evidence. Wayne, do you want to explain this, please?
Yes. So how we do it is we take a tree survey of the area. I know the approximate size by Google Street View. So I go around measuring similar sizes and come up with the DBH of the tree that was removed.
So that's a guess then, basically, right? Correct?
Yeah, and it's an estimate based on the average. So it's a medium. It's not the high average. It's the medium average of the trees that are based on the aerial evidence of your community. That is in regards to the county code's requirements.
And with the tree being so dead, it was really a liability of our house too, because every time a storm would come, you would have 10-foot limbs fall from on top of the car, on top of the house.
Oh, you had limbs damage your vehicle?
Oh yeah. We've had, it's come down and feels like the tree came down, like a storm coming, like you're running out there, like what happened? And there's so it would come down and put a little 1 foot into the ground. It would come down and dig a hole into and then I would have to get my chainsaw and cut it out, some of the trees and make it small so the Hillsborough County Waste could remove it. So the tree was dying. I mean, it was past its limit. It's not like we wanted to take it down because we love the tree.
That is understood.
Yeah, and I miss the tree. I ain't gonna lie to you, I do miss the tree.
But the county does require a permit for a tree that is dying,
Yeah.
that is in poor condition. It's only exempted if the tree was totally dead. So if you had a report of a dead tree, we would be in a different situation here.
Right.
At this point, it really is the owner's responsibility, and it sounds like you've had some communication with the tree service. So it sounds like you have a route there to be able to go after them for some help and working that out with your.
So I could put a tree anywhere in my yard, you're saying? Is that correct?
Yes, you can get credit for any tree that you planted in your yard. So if you plant, 2 or 3 new trees, which are about 3 inches in diameter, then we'll give you credit for that. And then you can pay a balance. So you can do a combination of plantings for credit, and then you pay a balance into the fund. That would be another option.
So I could plant one tree with a 1 inch diameter, 8 feet tall, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then we'd give you credit, and that leave you a balance of, we double credit when you plant trees on your property. So we'd give you credit of 2 inches, and that would give you a 28-inch balance.
I have to pay 28 inches times $65, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long do I have to pay for that?
Our recommendation in this presentation is 90 days.
Okay.
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 All right. I rule in case L 206274, the basis of the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, concur with staff's recommendations and order the violator to plant or donate 30 inches DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 30 inches to the restoration fund or combination thereof plantings and contribution to the fund within 90 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade 1. chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution fund to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Property owner Miguel Santana and Sherry Santana will be responsible for resolving this matter with the county, and fines failure to meet any of the timelines mentioned above will result in a penalty of $150 per day. Next case, please.
Next case is on page 13, case number L216572, El Maris Perez Colon. And we have service, and I believe there's someone here virtually.
Yes.
Luis, go ahead. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Swear.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, good morning all. My name is Luis Rua. My address is 1029 Sonesta Avenue, Brandon, Florida, 33511. Elimaris Perez Colon is my wife. This is our residence. And I am here to respond to case number L216572.
Thank you.
Krista Hull with the Development Services Department. This case L216572. Property owner and violator is Lee Maris Perez Colon. Violation address is 1029 Sonesta Avenue, Brandon, Florida. Violation: required street trees are deficient per the Land Development Code for La Colina subdivision. Ordinance violated is section 6.0603. First inspection, January 12, 2021. First notice, January 22nd, 2021. Last inspection, November 29th, 2021. 3 inspections. The inspector, Tony Hood, evaluated the property on January 12th. I would like him to go forward with the presentation of the photo evidence.
Hello, my name is Tony Hood, Inspector with Hillsborough County. On January 12th, 2021, we responded to a complaint that the improper pruning for 3 street trees. Here's a photo of one of the street trees. Next photo. And here's a picture of the 2 others that have been improperly pruned. A recheck was done November 29th, 2021, showing that the trees have epicormal growth on them, but the trees have not been replaced. Next photo.
County's recommendation for this property is that the trees be replaced and 3 county-approved street trees be installed within 45 calendar days for La Colina subdivision. Trees must be 1-inch DBH or larger, 6 feet in height minimum, and a Florida grade number 1 chosen from Hillsborough County approved street tree list. Palm trees must be 8 feet in trunk height at a ratio of 2 to 1 for each shade street tree. And fines are recommended to meet these timeframes.
Okay, Mr. Rue, what would you tell us?
Once again, good morning all. Absolutely, I understand. I am in receipt of all the notices. I have them here. I actually attempted to appear during WebEx meeting earlier in May of this year. I had a letter where it says that I could attend the public hearing, and my case was nowhere to be found. I then received a letter not too long ago, as Ms. Hall recently stated, that it was for me to appear here. So with that going forward, I had an arborist, a certified arborist, come out about in May timeframe. It's Peter and Ron Services. I submitted a letter today, but it was too late. However, a copy of this did go to Mr. Tony Hood's office. I do not have evidence that this was actually sent to his office, but I do have a letter from a certified arborist that states live oak trees have been rounded over but are in good health. There is no need to remove these trees as they show no signs of dying, disease, or decaying. or posting the threat to a dwelling, which is criteria to remove a tree. So as the pictures that you previously saw are accurate to the description, in photo 2, you can see some trees behind. It's one of my neighbors. I went around and I did some research. First thing is first, my violation says street tree section 6.06. I believe I heard 6.06.03. I was just on your website looking at that. In the Hillsborough County website, looking at 03. It's not stating on any of the documents that I received, but that's neither here or there. I can absolutely submit a copy of this letter within whatever amount of time required. Basically, I'm here to ask, why do I need to remove these trees and they are in great health? I'm more than willing to pay a different company to come out and check my trees as well. I do understand that this community, there is about 400 homes. I went out one day on a run and I counted every single tree, oak tree that were here. There's 3 different types of oak tree. I also found out that on the website that for every 100 trees that are planted, 25 have to be different according to the Hillsborough County rules and regulations, which this community did not meet. So it is my assessment that a lot of the neighbors that had any rules that were breaking, i.e. pruning or incorrect setting of the tree, were sent a letter, and a lot of our neighbors did go ahead and remove their trees that were not dead. I feel that these trees are in great shape. They are good for environment. They want me to remove really good trees. They're all meet standard, and they want me to replace them with the other 3 choices of the trees. I have done crazy amounts of research. I looked at it. I looked at YouTube videos. I absolutely think that, if I am not following any rules or regulations, that I should be punished. But in this case, I don't believe that is the case.
Ms. Hull, would you like to respond?
Yes, the trees were identified as overly pruned by the inspector. He's noted that there's epicormal sprouts. These trees are in the county right away. Epicormal sprouts such as this are weak attached branches that can break off in a storm event and cause damage. County does not take this type of liability. So it is your responsibility as a property owner to correct the situation. Street trees are to be shade to grow naturally. They were designed to provide shade for the street and the sidewalk. Pruning these trees in that manner disqualifies them as a street tree because they do not provide that benefit. But we have to consider the liability of the trees. Your certified arborist report identifies that they're not unhealthy. And so, yes, they're trying to grow, they're trying to be vigorous, but they are in a condition that can be a liability for the county.
Understand. I can absolutely look at your rules, regulations according to La Colina's rules and regulations and make sure that going forward, they meet the standards of both. Now, I asked the inspector, were the trees physically looked upon each leaf, each trunk, its roots to show that these trees were not, they're dying. I understand the shade, if anything, now they provide more shade than ever. I went back and looked at the guidelines of La Colina's tree pruning afterwards, and there were some verbiage about the type of pruning. So we absolutely fell on that. And if I need to pay a fine because to La Colina for doing so, I'm more than willing to. Just my appealing needs on regard to the trees. You say they need to create shade. If you look at the last 2 pictures taken on, November 29th, they're vigorous trees. They provide plenty of shade. I have plenty of birds there. Do I need to prune them better? I absolutely could, but I haven't touched them since the day of the first letter, which I stated January 12th, I believe, as you stated. I attempted to talk to the court. I guess it was in May. I actually wrote a couple of folks when we were thinking about changing the trees, but when we looked at it, and I had another arborist come out, and it's a certified. So I think this is unfair. And also, I did speak to neighbors, and I know this is not a matter of the court, but there are neighbors of mine who did the
Mr.
same.
Rua, Mr. Rua,
Yes.
I'm going to stop you right there. It has no, I understand your concern with your neighbors, and you're more than welcome to call the county and file a complaint if you have concern about your neighbors and things that they've done. Today, I'm only dealing with your property.
Understood. I just wanted the rules to apply to all.
And you're more than welcome to go through that process with whoever you want within your subdivision. As stated by the folks in the county, it's more of a liability in regards to what's grown back, more so than the healthiness of the tree. So I don't see any other course at this time other than getting those removed and replaced by a tree that can do adequate job with the shade and not become a liability for the county as a county street tree.
Can I get exact guidelines where it states that they are a liability because of its growth? Not a comment, not a speculation. I would like to see that in writing, if I may, please.
As part of the violation that was sent to you originally, sir, it shows the condition of the trees. The pictures have been presented, and that's the testimony of the county by the county staff.
Understood,
Do you
sir.
have any questions?
Yes, I do have a question. If you look at
Yes, sir.
606, it does not state about shading liability. It does not say that.
I'm sorry?
On section 606, when it talks about the trees and how they should, it doesn't say, or I didn't see that, liabilities of shading because of the shade.
The testimony given today by county staff is of that exact thing.
Understood, sir. So if I may be provided with how I can contest your ruling, please.
You'll receive a letter in the mail in regards to my recommendation on how to complete this after I rule. So unless you have any other questions, I'm prepared to make a ruling at this time.
I do not.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I rule in case L216572 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, concur with staff's recommendations and require the violator to plant 3 county-approved street trees within 45 calendar days for the La Colina subdivision. Trees must be 1-inch DBH or larger, 6 feet in height minimum, and Florida grade 1, chosen from Hillsborough County's approved street tree list. Palm trees must be 8 feet in trunk height at a ratio of 2-to-1 for shade trees. Failure to meet any of the timelines listed above will result in a penalty of $150 per day. Thank you, Mr. Rua. Next case,
Goodbye.
please. Next case, please.
Let's go to page 11 on your agenda, item 23, case number FM 21009, Martha Guiona and Casa de Dios Elm Church. We have service and someone is present. Will you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please. The mic is on. Okay, please state your name and address for the record. Is it on?
My name is Marta Gaona. My address is 13308 County Road 672, Riverview, Florida.
My name is Raquel Gomez. My address is 5311 Bell Street, Waimama, Florida 33598.
relationship to this case?
I'm going to be the translator.
Oh, okay, thank you. You can use that mic right there.
Good morning, Inspector.
Hi, my name is Ray Hansen, Hillsborough County Fire Marshal, Deputy Fire Marshal, 9450 East Columbus Avenue.
Can present your case.
The case has already been presented. I believe this was a continuation from an earlier hearing. And they were to report back here to give the results of the 60-day continuation, I believe.
Okay, can you give me an update on what the case was so that I understand what the continuation was so I can discuss it with them?
Yeah, let me pull it
I
up.
really do apologize. I was unprepared for this. I was unaware that it was a case on the docket today.
Okay.
Maybe they can give us an update on the progress they made in the 60 days.
Miss Raquel, I don't have any pictures and I'm not sure what happened 60
Okay.
days ago, but if you can
Yes.
give me your update, let's see if we can get to the end.
Yes, we're waiting on some invoices and also to the barricades to be installed and sealed. And we did the barricades. We have not received the invoices from the county. We're still waiting for that. And that's the last step that we need in order to continue with the permits.
The county installed barricades for you and invoiced you for them, or you did that for
No,
the third
we
party?
did that for the
Okay.
third party. Yeah, and we have the approval that we sent over to the county.
Do you have a copy of
Yeah,
that?
I
Can
have
you
a
give
copy
that to my young ladies here and they will pass it around to me? Once we have it, we have to keep it. So I didn't want to take your
Yeah,
original.
no, that's
Thank you.
your copy.
So in your mind, what are
And I
you?
can give you this too, so that way you know what we're talking about.
Oh, okay, terrific. So in your mind, what are you waiting on at this point? Or are complete with?
Yeah, if you, on that paper, there were three things: the barricade inspection, affidavit of compliance. That one is done.
Okay,
And then the only thing we're waiting for is the right-of-way permit fee of $725 and the certificate of capacity fee, $35.79. That, we're still waiting for the county to send us the invoices. We don't know how to pay for those two. We have the money to pay for them, but we have not received the invoices.
okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I can tell you some notes that are in here.
That would be terrific.
It says that it was continued to today's hearing and that during the continuance period, the meetings of the building must be held only one day per week on Sunday. And the owner must hire fire watch to be present when people are in the building.
It's all coming back to me now.
Okay.
That was me.
Yeah.
Yes, and I do believe they were verified that they are they agreed and they have complied with the stipulations to occupy in the meantime.
Okay. So in regards to development services, do we know if will they send them invoices for this process? What's the next step for them?
I can't tell you that.
My suggestion would be that you get in touch with the folks at Development Services and let them know that you're ready and able to pay the fees
We did.
instead of waiting for an invoice. You
No,
did?
We did. We
Okay.
went downtown to talk to them. But they said just to wait for the invoice that they will email it to us.
Okay.
And that's the only thing we're waiting for in order to pull all the permits that we need.
Okay.
Also, since the fire marshal's here, we have contracted the fire watch. But on Sundays, we understand, we need it there, but on Tuesdays, we have Bible study, and there's only like 10 to 15 people that go to the assembly. We need to have a fire, we are paying currently for a fire watch, but it's like over $200 for the fire watch. Do we need to have one, even though it's a small amount of people, like 10 to 15 people?
Yes, ma'am. we require fire watch. It's mainly for if anybody is in the building from the public. If the public is in the building, you need a fire watch. The number of the public isn't the question. It's just the public is in the building. May I suggest, if you only have 10 people, is there not another location that you can meet and do your Bible study?
Okay, we'll talk about it in this, well, thank you. We are paying for it though, I mean, right now, but it was just, we're paying like, almost $600 per week.
Understand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and I want to, commend you, first of all, for taking all the steps and doing everything that's been requested of you to this point. I know the folks, the fire marshal greatly appreciate that, knowing that you guys are safe while you're meeting and going through this process. So it sounds like everything's going the right direction. You just need to pay some fees and get this moving down the line. So my suggestion would be to continue this for 30 days. I'm not trying to waste your time, but give you an opportunity to come back after 30 days. Hopefully those invoices will have shown up and you can continue to progress through this process. But I would definitely call development services every day just to say hello. Okay? All right? Thank you. I move in case FM 21009 that we continue for 30 days and add it to the January 11th, 2022 hearing. Next case, please.
Next case is on page 6, item 15, case number L216651, Truck Spot Properties, Ruskin LLC. This is a staff report. Do you have the case summary?
Yes, ma'am.
And someone is here for this case? Sir, raise your
Good
right
morning.
hand. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your name and address for the record.
Clayton Bricklemeyer, 4427 West Kennedy, representing the owner.
Thank you, Counselor. Ms. Hull?
Yes, Krista Hull with the Development Services Department, case L 216651. The order was issued on June 9th, 2021. The respondent was to submit a site development plan and a natural resource permit application and obtain the site development approval and the natural resource permit within 180 days, 6 months, which would be December the 1st, 2021. Staff report identifies that the property owner, Truck Spot Properties Ruskin LLC, is requesting a stay of the order following the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing on June 4th, 2021. Development Services Department, the zoning staff determined that the property requires rezoning prior to getting an approved site plan. That zoning application has been prepared and filed by the owner. At this time, they're scheduled for the January 18th, 2022 ZHM and a March 8th, 2022 BOCC hearing. The owner asks that the order be stayed as they are diligently pursuing compliance but cannot control the BOCC's hearing schedule at this time. Staff's recommendation is supporting this stay to November 10th, 2022.
Counselor?
I don't have a lot to add. I appreciate staff's work on this. I don't know how much time you spend in the zoning process, but it is lengthy. I looked, I have one on Tuesday. There are 15 to 20 continuances. It's just the way of the world right now. We went to try to work through just from a site plan perspective, and we're told we had to rezone. So then we had to go back and do a rezoning application. And I'm excited about that. We're staying on January 18. I actually thought I was going to come here and tell you that we might actually be moved to a February time frame. Right now, we're good. We're going to have to resubmit something. That's what I'm going back to my office to do to make sure we keep the January date. But I appreciate and would ask that you follow staff's recommendation.
Excellent.
Thanks.
I move in case L 216651, based on the testimony provided today, that we stay the order for case L 216651 until November 10th, 2022. Thank you, Counselor. Have a great day.
So after 11/10/2022, we will
Resume. Correct.
start the fine again. The same fine, 250.
Correct.
Okay. Just need to clarify that. Next case is on page 7, item 16, case number L216714, Carol W. Schlosser. We have service. Sorry, I chopped that up. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or, sir, if you're going to be testifying?
Yes.
Okay, please raise your right hand as well. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
It's Carol.
Speak into the mic, please.
Carol W. Schlosser. 4706 Ridgecliff Drive, Brandon, Florida, 33511.
Sir?
My name is Johannes Van Hook. I live at 2626 Washington Road in Valrico, Florida, 33594.
And your relation to the case, sir?
Mrs. Schlosser has been a customer of mine for 25 years. At a given point in time, she had contacted me about this particular tree. I was getting ready for heart procedure and told her I was not going to be able to do it, but I came out, looked at the tree, evaluated the tree, told her that the tree was in very bad condition and something needed to be done with it.
Okay. I'm going to let them do that. I just want to know where you stood. Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Hull. Go ahead.
Krista Hull with the Development Services Department, case L216714. Property owner Carol W. Schlosser, violation address 4706 Ridgecliff Drive in Brandon, violation observed, unpermitted removal of one live oak tree measuring 26 inches DBH, set diameter at 4.5 feet. Ordinance violated is section 4.01.03A, first inspection March 9th, 2021. First notice, March 24th, 2021. Last inspection, November 29th, 2021. 2 inspections. The inspection was done by Tony Hood. I'll have him proceed with the photo evidence.
Hi, my name is Tony Hood with Hillsborough County. We received a complaint that a tree was removed. I responded on March 9th, 2021. The red box indicates the area where the tree was taken out. Next slide. This is a zoomed in pic. So this is a zoomed in picture where the stump is that fell in that red box. Next slide. Here's Google Street View taken in November of 2018, which is the most recent photo we could find showing the tree was alive. Next photo. And a recheck done November 29th, 2021, showing no trees have been replanted.
Staff recommendation is that the property owner submit a compliant tree restoration and/or contribution agreement for 26 inches of trees and complete the restoration agreement within 60 calendar days. The violator, Carol W. Schlosser, is responsible for resolving this matter with the county. Fines will be issued for failure to meet timeframes.
Okay, ma'am, what would you like to tell us?
I had this tree removed because it was a threat to my neighbor's yard, to their property, to their cars. It was dropping large branches, which was also a concern for my yard man. And I was very concerned that my neighbor was going to call code enforcement to ask that the tree be removed. Hans has worked for me for over 20 years. He is a certified arborist, and he's here today to testify on the condition of the tree itself.
Okay. Sir?
When I was called out to look at the tree, first thing I told her was that I wasn't able to do the work, which was obvious. Anyway, I told her the tree was in very bad condition. I inspected the tree. We have photos of the tree prior to the removal, which shows, large dead branches in the tree, mistletoe activity into the tree, numerous cavities into the tree, codominant stems into the tree where there were cavities just below that point. And there was at one point below that codominant stem that actually looks like lightning might even had hit the tree at that point. I will testify to the fact that it was very close to the fence. The neighbor's driveway is just on the other side of the fence, and they had complained also about limbs coming down. And it was just an unusual situation. Anybody who knows me knows that over my career, which has been forever, that I pull permits. I neglected to say anything to her about permit. I just told the tree was in bad, condition. Something needed to be done with the tree. She had contacted somebody. They had taken down the tree. If the tree was really in good shape, I probably wouldn't even be here to deal with the situation. But knowing the situation, that's why I chose to come. She knows now that a permit really was required for the tree removal. But actually, at this point, concerning all the situation and with the photos that we have, we were at least hoping for a reduction of fine, considering all the facts.
Understand. Do you have something that you can pass along, pictures,
We
photo,
do.
and you can leave them with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. If you give that to the young lady, she'll bring them around for me and I can take a look.
I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Hall.
Mr. Van Hook, is that right?
Yes.
Did you provide a document to Ms. Schlosser in regards to the condition of this tree prior to removal?
I did not. It was a verbal situation. Like I say, I wasn't even supposed to be doing anything because they told me I could have a heart attack and all this stuff. So I
Sir,
didn't.
step in front of the microphone for me. My recording ladies downtown get upset if they can't hear
Okay.
you.
I did not do a document. I wasn't even really supposed to be there because the cardiologist told me, you could have a heart attack and all this good stuff. So, but being she had been a customer for so many years, I did come out, look at the situation and give her my 2 cents worth.
Okay, thank you.
But I might add, anybody that knows me in Hillsborough County, which a lot of people do, they know I have an extremely good record. I only tell it the way it is. I don't pull punches. I never have.
I understand. I remember seeing your reports in the past.
And I'd just like to add that I've lived in that house for over 30 years. I have never had a violation, and I would not intentionally do something against, county code. Taking down a tree is extremely expensive, and I really wanted to save it. But unfortunately, there wasn't a way.
Understand.
Okay. So the tree service that you hired did not tell you that it needed a permit?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you don't have any, you'll probably have to go to them to help you on this, but what I will recommend, I don't know if you can add more trees to your property, but we will give you double credit if you plant more trees on your property, which would mean 13 inches back on your property. Can you do something like that?
Yeah, small trees.
Okay, the minimum size of the trees would be 8 foot tall, just to let you know, and 1 inch in diameter. But you could do like 2-inch diameter, and as long as we get a 13 inches on there, you'll be fine. I would get back with that tree company and ask them to help pay for that.
See those one more time. Thanks.
I might add, on some of those pictures, there's actually a tree kind of right behind it a little bit, and it looks like it's part of that one particular tree, and it's not. It's just
I'm not going to give you a hard time for your photographic evidence. You're good. On this case, I think you had the best interest of safety and your neighbors in mind based on the location. So I'm going to reduce the number of inches for this violation to help. I know you spent the money to take it down, and we've all kind of learned a lesson here today in regards to how to do this in the future. And I appreciate you coming down and giving your testimony. I will accept that even without an arborist report and those kind of things. I understand the relationship and being able to pick up the phone and call somebody to have their professional opinion. So based on that, I'll make those changes as I do my ruling. So thank you again for coming out and explaining the situation to us.
Thank you.
I rule in case L 216714 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, I modify staff's recommendations and require the violator to submit a compliant tree restoration and or contribution agreement for 13 inches of trees and complete the restoration agreement within 60 calendar days. The violator, Carol Schlosser, will be responsible for resolving this matter with the county, and fines for failure to meet any of these timelines will result in a penalty of $100 per day.
Next case is on page 8, item 19, case number L 216775, Alguimiro Fuentes, and we have service. Someone is present.
Case number 19.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
We do.
Please state your name and address for the record, each of you.
My name is Noralbis Hancock, and my address is 6509 Travis Boulevard, Tampa, Florida, 33610. I'm here to speak on behalf of my father and translate for him. He doesn't speak English.
Okay,
So,
he can state his name and address also for the record.
papi, di tu nombre y tu dirección.
Algimiro Fuente, 9064 Bayou Drive, Tampa, Florida, 33635.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hall?
Krista Hall with the Development Services Department, case L 216775. MoMA home owner is the violator, Algamero Fuentes. Violation address, 9064 Bayou Drive, Tampa. Violation observed, unpermitted removal of a laurel oak tree measuring 27 dBH inches. Ordinance violated is section 4.1.03.A. First inspection, April 4th, 2021. First notice, April 12th, 2021. Last inspection, November 18th, 2021. 3 inspections. The inspection was done by Wayne Doyen. He's the inspector. He'll present the evidence that is here today.
Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning, Wayne Doran, Hillsborough County, Natural Resources. Again, this is a Google photo taken July 2019. Shows the tree in question. My first visit was 04/04/2021. This tree had been removed without a permit. Google photo showing what it was. Recheck a property on 10/6/2021 and 11/18/2021 with no new replantings.
Staff recommendation is that the property owner plant or donate 27 inches DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 27 inches to the restoration fund or a combination of plantings or contributions to the fund within 90 days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum 8 feet in height, Florida grade 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. The mobile home owner, Algamero Fuentes, will be responsible for resolving this matter with the county. The mobile home park property owner is not responsible for the violation. Fines will be issued for failure to meet timeframes.
Okay, Fuentes family, what would you like to tell me?
Good morning. I just want to start by saying that when my father look at the tree. The tree was damaging the property. The roots were growing on the between the two properties. Again, this is not a, so my dad owns the mobile home. He rent the land lot from the mobile home park. So he went to the management office, let them know the tree is causing damage. So he asked what they can do. At the time, they say they didn't have a budget to take care of removal of the tree. So my dad said, I'm willing to pay because it's damaging the property. So they say, yes, go ahead and remove it. So nobody informed him he needed a permit at the time. So he contacted a tree trimmer company. They also failed to tell him he needed a permit. So, so we're just here today just to let you know we want to resolve these. It was just truly not, it was ignorance because we didn't know a permit was required for it. After the fact that we received the notifications and I talked to the inspector about it, I learned, I did my research that we needed a permit. So that's what we have to say.
Okay, and then in regards to your site, you understand that you have the ability to replant trees to reduce the amount to the contribution fund if you'd like to do that?
He has already, I don't know, I don't understand very well how these work, but he has planted fruitful trees already. He has 6 new trees on the property at the moment.
Okay, well, as part of this in my recommendation, they'll come back out and re-inspect that.
Okay.
And if it's of a quality tree, then they would give you credit for that.
Okay.
Against whatever my recommendation is.
Understood.
Okay.
Sir?
Go ahead.
One thing about the trees being replanted, I just want to make sure they know they have to be off the county approved tree list.
Okay.
Yep, and that'll be part of my ruling. So we have to select them from that to be of that size and height restriction.
So he can either replant some trees or he can pay, is it saying $65 per DBH?
Correct, or a combination
A
thereof.
combination of both. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood.
Okay. Is it 90 days okay to be able to complete that? Is that a
Absolutely.
reasonable time frame? Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you. I rule in case L216746 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, concur with staff's recommendations, require the violator to plant or donate 27 inches DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 27 inches. Testing my memory today. To the restoration fund.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I failed. Yes, thank you. Or contribute 27 inches to the restoration fund or a combination of plantings and contribution to the fund within 90 days, 90 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. The mobile homeowner, Mr. Fuentes, will be responsible for resolving this matter with the county. Mobile home park property owner is not responsible for the violation. Failure to meet any of the timelines listed above will result in a penalty of $100 per day. I hope they got all that. Okay. Next case, please.
They'll get it though. They'll get the order.
Oh, terrific.
Page 9, item 20, case number L216895, Todd J. Claus and Christy Ann Otterbein. We have service and someone is present. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your name and address for the record.
Todd Claus, 12023 Cardinal Flower Drive.
Thank you.
Excellent. Ms. Hall?
Krista Hall with the Development Services Department, case L216895. Property owners, Todd J. Klaus and Christy N. Otterbein. Violation address, 12023 Cardinal Flower Drive, Riverview, Florida. Violation observed, unpermitted fill in the front and side yard and left side of driveway. Ordinance violated is section 4.01, first inspection, May 23rd, 2021. First notice, August 20th, 2021. Last inspection, November 30th, 2021. 4 inspections conducted. John Beavers was the inspector for this property. He will present the evidence of the photo documentation.
John Beavers, Environmental Investigation Supervisor. On this date, we received just a complaint, a community complaint of a good amount of fill on the left side of the driveway and the side yard of the residence. The property line is approximately where the vinyl fence ends. So it was a good amount of fill, displacing and exceeding what was approved in the neighborhood grading plan, which would be at about an elevation of where the pavers are sloping down to the property line. Next. Investigation was conducted November 30th. These pictures reveal that there has been some retaining effort by the resident on the side yard here with some wood retaining, but the fill remains, and we just been working with them on time frames, but just not seeing that kind of an action, either a permit or to bring the fill back into the level that was approved by the neighborhood grading plan originally.
The county recommendation is that the property owner submit a compliant natural resources permit application to address the land alterations within 60 calendar days and obtain and finalize the natural resource permit after receipt of the application within 90 calendar days, or return the side yard grading to the grades approved on the neighborhood grading plan. The violator, Todd Klaus and Christy Ann Otterbein, are responsible for resolving this matter with the county. Now, I am aware just recently this morning that they are in the process of submitting an application. So it looks like the first part of the order will be being commenced shortly, but Mr. Klaus can address that.
We're perfectly fine with what's being recommended. We'll take care of this. We'll have our application in within 60 days and we'll complete the work 90 days thereafter.
Okay, terrific. I rule in case L 216895 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violations, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, I concur. Oh,
There's someone that wants to speak on this case.
Mr. Klaus, would you mind if we let them, since they've come down, to be able to say something and step aside for a moment? Thank you, sir.
Come forward, please. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name and address for the record, each of you.
Jeremy Malvoisin.
Come closer.
Jeremy Malvoisin, 11908 Water Blossom Way, Riverview, 33579.
Ma'am?
Nancy Malvoisin, 11908 Water Blossom Way, Riverview, Florida, 33579.
In your relationship to this case?
Husband and wife.
To the case?
To the case, because I'm the next door neighbor that been
Neighbor.
affected.
With the victim.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning. What would you like to tell me?
On page 1 and 2 of what I give you show water on sidewalk. That was 2 to 3 weeks ago. We never have rain for 2 months now. But the water, the way the water that's come from his property sit on my property, might become a swamp. So water keep going daily. And number 3 and 4, showing the lawn damage by lawnmower because it's a swamp. The lawnmower go, you can see the damage on the lawn there. And number 5, his girders goes underground to drain water from his house onto my property. And that water has nowhere to go but to turn my lot into a swamp. Number 4 and 5 also show the change in elevation. And number 6 show the second gutter in the back of the house that drain water onto my property. And 7, 8, and 9 show the damage to the lawn in the back of the property. And number 10 will show you the material that he used to block the line. So when he built up, because he had truckload of topsoil to raise the elevation. So he had that material all along the house to hold the topsoil that he put to allow him to build up.
If I can say something, is elevation show
Ma'am,
like that?
I'm going to need you to step in front of the microphone so my ladies downtown can hear
Sorry,
you.
okay.
That's okay.
When we raise the elevation, because the builder built them to be like that, and the water can flow. When he build, it changed elevation and put a pipe. Now the flow of the water, everything is coming into a lawn. Everything. After 3 weeks without no rain, you can see on the sidewalk, there was still water coming from the lawn because it could not dry. It's a swamp there.
And it's an HOA violation. HOA sent them 3 letters. They ignored them. Then HOA turned to their lawyer, to the attorney. I don't know where it stands now. Now the county took over, sent in violation. They ignore it, and that's it. No, you already said that the county sent them notice.
I'm sorry. Did you say that the county ignored your?
No, the notice the county sent them, they ignored it.
Well, that's why we're here.
That's
sir.
why we're here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're here.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. Do you have any questions or concerns in regards to the recommendation that I was working through when you came up in regards to, you understand what's going to happen here in regards to your neighbor, correct? He's going through the process to submit a natural resources application and go through the process to have that inspected to determine if that's allowed to stay. And if it's not, then he'll have to return it to its original grade.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Klaus, I don't see any reason to change the recommendation of the staff at this time. You're still okay with everything based on what we've talked about?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I move in case L 216895 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator and the violator's history, concur with staff's recommendations, require the violator to submit a compliant natural resources permit application to address the land alterations within 60 calendar days, and to obtain and finalize the natural resources permit after receipt of the application within 90 calendar days, or return the side yard grading to the grades approved on the neighborhood grading plan. Violator owner Todd Klaus and Christy Ann Otterbein are responsible for resolving this matter with the county. Failure to meet any of the timelines listed above will result in a penalty of $150 per day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. Next case, please.
Page 10, item 22, case number L 217048, Deborah Ann Hawk. We have service, and someone is present. Who will be testifying?
She's going to be helping me.
Okay, well, I need her to come forward. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Each of you, please state your name and address for the record.
Deborah Hawk, 1621 Bell Shoals Road, Brandon, Florida, 33511.
Stephanie King, 1621 Bell Shoals Road, Brandon, Florida, 33511.
King?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Hall?
Krista Hall with the Development Services. Department Case L 217048. Property owner and violator is Deborah Ann Hogg. Violation address 4516 Lithia Pinecrest Road in Valrica, Florida. Violation is unpermitted disposal in a floodplain. Ordinance violated is section 4.01. First inspection, September 3rd, 2021. First notice, October 13th, 2021. Last inspection, November 23rd, 2021. 4 inspections. Inspector Jim Rauch is present. He'll be able to explain the rest of these slides.
Hello, Jim Rauch, Development Services.
Morning, Jim.
This slide shows that the whole area that is shaded there is in the county floodplain and is also, that's in a FEMA floodplain. The highlighted lot is their lot. This is from the gate. I had went out there several times. When the complainant, which is one of the neighbors, first called it in, they gave us a wrong address. So it took us probably about a month before we got the correct address to where they wanted it. And went out, he stated that fill had been placed pretty much over the entirety of the lot. This is from the front gate. You can see that the grade dips down at the tree in the background, the live oak. They dished around it. And also along the property line, you can see that the grade drops in elevation to the neighbor's property. Go to the next one right there. Where the greener area is on the right side of the property from the lower right corner of the picture going back, you can see there was an elevation change. It appeared to be maybe 10 to about 12 inches of fill from what I could tell. I wasn't on the site beforehand, but just judging from the root flares on the trees and what the other property lines were. This was just from the road, the gate. You can see the postings, notices actually hanging on the gate there, but every time I went there, the gate was locked, so I just took photos from the outside. I didn't go on it at all. The lady giving testimony today and a gentleman with her were on site one day, and I asked about the fill, and they said they were bringing a mobile home in, and I explained to them it was in a flood zone and they needed to get a permit for it. And they thanked me for the information and quickly left, told me that they weren't the owners and that I'd have to deal with the owner on it. So we sent a notice to the owner.
The staff recommendation is that the property owner submit a compliant natural resources permit application to address the disposed fill materials and stormwater requirements for the property within 60 calendar days. The following items must be included in the application. Submit a professional engineer's plan or a certified floodplain manager CFM report. Provide an as-built plan of the final grade elevations. Obtain the natural resource permit and finalize the stormwater requirements of the permit within 90 calendar days, or remove all fill materials from the floodplain area within 60 calendar days. Fines will be applied for failure to meet these timeframes.
Okay, Ms. Hawk, what would you like to tell me?
Where do you get the permits to do that? I mean, I've been having trouble with getting stuck in the front yard. I haven't been on that property for about 20 years now. And when I went down there, all the other land around me is built up as high as the highway. I mean, some of them's like 6 foot deep all the way in there.
Ma'am, I know that you've been sitting through my entire meeting today, so that you know that I don't want to hear about anything else about other properties. Only thing I'm here to deal with this morning is your property.
Right. Well, the whole property is not done, only the front, so we can drive in there because it needed to be cleaned up. It's been sitting for a long time and it was being dumped on. So I was just trying to get in there to clean it up without being flooded out. And also, a lot of my trees are dying. They got big cavities in them. They're falling over. My septic tank's coming up. I mean, there's, the land is so low, it needed a little fill.
Mm-hmm.
She also has photos.
In front of the microphone, please, ma'am.
She also has the photos of, she has photos here where the trees are falling over on a lot of them. And then photos of the septic where it's coming up out of the ground, floating septic. So I don't, a little bit of dirt. The dirt was put in between.
I'm still going to need you to step for the microphone. It's okay. It won't
The
bite.
dirt was put in between the front driveway and the septic. to be around the septic and the trees that were there, because the oak tree there in the front was actually dying and starting to fall over itself. That's why the dirt was put around it, was to hold that tree up and to save its life. And then the other fill dirt was put there also to help the septic, because I just had a septic inspection done and out there, and they're saying that with the way the septic runs and how wet it is, that it's coming back up into the septic. And that a little bit of dirt would help the water go down or up, or however the level is in the floodplain.
I understand. So you have concerns in regards to where to go for the permit application process? Would you like to address that, Ms. Hall?
Yes, the Development Services Department will be the place you need to go. Now, are you trying to get a mobile home permit?
Yeah, eventually. I mean, there's got to be a lot of work done out there. Like I said, there's a lot of trees that's fallen over and they're in the power lines.
Yeah.
So I think Tico needs to come out there and clear some of those trees, and then I can clear the rest of them, but they're over the power lines and they're falling over towards my neighbor's yard. So they're actually a big liability out there.
Yeah, I appreciate you addressing the trees. Unfortunately, that is a natural event. You have to address the fill. Any fill brought on a FEMA floodplain has to be permitted before you bring it in. Our recommendation is for 60 calendar days. The mobile home permit will allow you to bring fill just for the mobile home pad area. You are also allowed for fill for the septic area based on what's approved by the Department of Health. Every other areas of fill needs to be approved through the permit process. Okay?
That's actually the only places we put dirt, is right there around where we want to put a mobile home. I used to have a mobile home there, and that's where
Okay.
the mobile home was, and that's the only place we have put dirt.
Well, based on the pictures, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I know you've been out there, but it looks like there's more fill on the site than just where you'd place a mobile home.
Well, there is some fill that I had put there, like around that tree and that spot right there. I had that dirt put there about 20 years ago. It's just been sitting there for 20 years.
But you know what I'm going to say, right? Old dirt, new dirt,
Well,
any dirt. So, I mean, I understand, but
But I don't understand, because 20 years ago, even if you had a Google photo 20 years ago of this, that dirt would be there. So I don't get what you're saying here. Why? So she needs to remove this dirt, you're saying?
no, get a permit.
Okay.
If you can get a permit to address the fill where you want the fill to be, yes, that'll be allowed to stay.
Now, I did call down, I'm sorry, I did call down there and try to get them, and they just gave me the runaround. There is no permit. Oh, it's gonna cost you $4,000 or 2,000 something, and then another permit for 2,000 and something. And they're telling me that I wasn't allowed. So I want to know where to go and what permit you would like me to get to do this, because they have not. I even asked specific questions, like what kind of, for the septic or for the driveway. And they still did not want to answer me on anything. They told me to get the one permit. And whenever I go online to look up the one permit, it's like 2,000 and something dollars. And you have to have somebody come in and look at all this. And I mean, so that's the one you're talking about.
Yes,
That permit.
that is what you're telling me you're
It's
needing the
2,000.
fill for. So I'm basing that permit on the fact that you want to put a mobile home there. So you need to get your mobile home permit. That will require a site plan to be approved. And that site plan will identify where you can put the fill. You're going to have to show where your septic tank is, which you'll have to show your health department permit. And once everybody sees that plan, they'll be able to sign off on it. If there's any excess fill, they may ask you to remove that excess fill, okay? That's what I'm hearing that you want to do. If you don't want to do the mobile home, we've got 60 days on the recommendation right now. If you don't think you're going to be able to do the mobile home, then I recommend that you get
60 days. So the mobile home.
one more time, man. You can stand there the whole time, right in front of it.
Okay, so I would be getting the permit for the mobile home within the next 60 days, is what you're saying?
We're asking you to submit the application that will identify where you put the fill and that you want the mobile home to go there, you need to submit that within 60 days.
Okay.
Then it says in the recommendation, obtain the permit and finalize the requirements of that permit in regards to the fill within 90 days. So that's 60 plus 90.
Okay.
So if you think you can get your application in 60 days, if not, we can try to make an adjustment today. Okay?
I think we could do that.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
All right, I thank you.
Make sense?
Yes,
Got a plan?
I thank you so much.
No problem. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. You too, ma'am. I rule in case L 217048 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, concur with staff's recommendations, require the violator to submit a compliant natural resources permit application to address the disposal the materials and stormwater requirements for the property within 60 calendar days. Following items must be included in the application. Submit a professional engineer's plan or certified floodplain manager's report and provide an as-built plan of the final grade elevations. Violator will obtain a natural resources permit and finalize stormwater requirements of the permit within 90 calendar days, or remove all fill materials from the floodplain area within 60 calendar days. Failure to meet any of the timelines listed above will result in a daily fine of $175 per day. Next case, please. Yes, ma'am. Take your time.
There's no one else in the audience. You have to read that little thing that there's nobody else in the audience. Who? Oh, I didn't know. Who's that for? Okay, so we have someone online.
Hi,
Case
Krista.
num- Item page 5, item 12, case number L206353, author Karen A. Mathura, author. We
Yep.
have service and someone is present. Can I see you, please?
I am here. Hold on. Trying to figure out WebEx.
You may have to tap the screen to be able to see the camera button.
Yeah, are you seeing me? Yeah.
Yes, yes, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
It's Karen Matura Arthur. My address is 5370 Arlington River Drive, Lakeland, Florida, 33811.
Thank you. Ms. Hull?
Krista Hull with case L206353. Property owner and violator is Karen A. Matura, author. Violation address 2590 Hawk Griffin Road, Plant City, Florida. Violation is unpermitted disposal of fill materials that alters the flow of surface waters in the area. Ordinance violated is section 4.01.03. First inspection, October 26, 2020. First notice, July 6, 2021. Last inspection, November 24, 2021. 6 inspections conducted. Jim Ralph will be the inspector to go through these slides.
Jim Ralph, Development Services. I put this here so you can see the contour. The original one from the LiDAR imaging on the right shows the area 94 where above the firm panel is listed. And I put the aerial photo next to it so you can see the pond in reference to the pond on the right photo to kind of get an idea of where the layout of the land is. There's a pond on the neighbor's property that goes around it. There's also a ditch that's fairly deep, probably about 3 feet deep, that runs along the right side alongside Valhalla. And there's a small wetland area in front of the property where you can see the FEMA map, or this is the county map, goes up into the front left corner of the property. There was a wetland area in the front of the property, and EPC, after it was filled, did exempt it. So EPC said it's my baby and not theirs. And So they exempted the property. There still is a low area you'll see in some of the photos on the front, but this shows where the wetland or where the flood zone of the property is in the front and toward the back. Fill was brought over most of the front of the property. This shows the tree picture on the left is the east side of the property where that lower ditch is. You can see the new fill up against the tree and it just kind of tapers back. That's the area where the driveway was added to the property. The property was sitting vacant before. And the other property where the water is standing is on that area I explained as a small wetland that was on the left corner of the aerial. And that's the neighbor's property. And he was concerned because she had filled in and he didn't know what that was going to do to his little wetland. But then the EPC exempted it, so it's still in a flood zone. This shows the driveway going in that was added. I believe she did obtain a permit from right-of-way use for that and had to redo the culvert and stuff like that. And the next picture is the area where it was much lower originally in the front of the property where it showed that 94 elevation. And now the whole area is kind of leveled out. This was October, December, I believe it was end of November, I received a call from one of the neighbors, said more fill was coming out on site. So I went out there and took a few more photos. You can see there was a little bit more grading work done and you can see some piles left on site. It was more to the front of the property and not so much to the back where she does intend to build the house. In fact, while I was there, 2 trucks showed up with more fill and I told them, stop bringing more fill, that, you know, they were going to be involved if more fill came on site. This is the later photo in December. More fill had been pushed toward the property line on the west, which is where the neighbor is, where the pond is. And you can kind of see the amount of fill brought in. This was the latest photo taken in preparation for the case. The foliage is growing back in, everything's kind of leveled out and looks all normal now. Still fill there, just growing over. And this is the last inspection photo taken November 24th. And there's the posting on the property.
Jim, give me some assistance in scale here. What are we, I mean, it looked like some of those pictures were several feet.
Yeah, the photos that were taken, the one that showed like it was really deep, that's where that ditch runs along Valhalla. So that was about a 3-foot ditch anyway. So you're talking probably about a foot of fill over most of the front of the property.
Okay.
Other than the low areas and where the wetland was on the west side. It may be a little more there. I don't know, because it's not deep, it's just a wetland area. So there was probably about 6 inches to a foot of standing water and then foliage through it. And then it was fill on top of that.
It would probably absorb some through that process too. Okay. Oh, okay, ma'am. What would you like to tell us?
Well, I am in the process. I just received my plans yesterday.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't see you. There you are.
Yes.
Sorry, the thumb's in the way. That's okay.
Wait, am I better? Sorry.
That's perfect.
I'm on my phone.
No worries.
I'm about to submit a building permit application. I started the process, but I didn't submit my plans. So that is going to get submitted within the next week, as well as permit fees paid, et cetera, to be able to properly grade the property and begin construction. The EPC process took an extremely long time to get my consent order. We're talking a year to get a consent order of going back and forth, arguments back and forth, trying to prove that my septic should go in that location. So wouldn't the application for a building permit and starting that process and actually obtaining a building permit supersede the natural resources permit? I mean, I think a natural resources permit will be part of that submission package.
Well, I apologize. I jumped ahead of the game and didn't give Ms. Hull an opportunity to list her staff recommendations. So I'll have her do that, and then you can tell me where that falls in your timeline.
Yeah, the
Okay.
county staff recommendation is that the property owner submit a compliant natural resources permit application to address the disposed fill materials and stormwater requirements for the property within 30 calendar days and obtain the natural resource permit, which sounds like a single-family permit, LAL, within 90 calendar days. And fines will be applied if failure to meet those timeframes. If those timeframes do work for her.
Yeah, they do. They work for me. A lot of times the delays come on the part of the county. So how does that affect me if the county doesn't receive my permit or review my permit in, the said period of time? Do I still receive the fine? Because I can't control what others do.
Typically, processing an application doesn't take 90 days. And that's why we've added that. But we can always add a little more just since we've got an EPC issue.
I would suggest that just to give her an opportunity to, sounds like she's been quite active in trying to get this property done. I don't think this is something that she's going to sit on. So maybe we can extend that some to give her.
If I may.
Please.
Also, it may take a little longer because she may need to get a CFM involved or a landmark engineering or some engineering firm to verify that the fill is out of the flood zone and that that's compensated for properly. So that may take a little extra time. And she also needs to get a septic system in there, which the neighbor I know is very outspoken about it. So she may take a little extra time with the state getting the septic system put in that's acceptable for having the stormwater power to ponds all around it. So it may take a little longer.
Do you suggest 6 months?
If she can get the application in, then I would hope within 6 months, we should be able to get it resolved between it's just we're getting into rainy season again. We're out of rainy season now, but I'm just saying there may take a little extra time for the fill on site to be dealt with the single family permit. And also the septic system may take somebody a little longer to find somebody who can accommodate that.
So I don't know much about the building process, but I do have a Department of Health septic permit at this point. I have submitted and received one. And I have received pretty much everything to submit at this point. I do appreciate more time instead of having to come back, ask for more time if it's needed, but I'm really hoping and praying at this point that my house is built by 6 months. So I'm hoping for a miracle, but I'm going to try really hard. So, I could see an extra 30 days being okay, but I have to come back and ask for more time.
But my recommendation at this point is to double it and leave it with 30 days to submit and 180 days for the natural resources permit. If you don't have any objections to that, like I said, she's gone above and beyond, I think, and has been pushing rope uphill for quite some time. I understand her eagerness to get it completed, and I also understand how the county works. So I want to be sure to be able to give her ample opportunity. So, ma'am, I'm going to revise the staff recommendation to obtaining the natural resources permit within 180 calendar days to give you ample time to go through that process. Obviously, if something happens along the way, you can reach out to the folks, and Ms. Holt will definitely help you through the process as we move along. But thank you for everything that you've done to date.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. I rule in case L206353 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, concur with staff's recommendations modified, and require the violator to submit a compliant natural resources permit application to address the disposed fill materials and stormwater requirements for the property within 30 calendar days. Also, to obtain a natural resources permit, single-family LAL, within 180 calendar days. Failure to meet any of the timelines listed above will result in a daily fine of $150 per day.
Sir?
Please.
Do you want to make it or instead of and? Because if they do the single family permit and address the fill on that, then we wouldn't need to do the first permit.
You're absolutely right.
So make it or.
Yes, sir. That would be great. I modify my motion from and to or obtain. So no.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes, ma'am. Or.
Now that concludes, everybody.
Okay. Seeing that no one is present in the audience for the remaining cases on the agenda, I will now review the case materials previously provided by county staff. And if I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation, my ruling in each case will be based on the evidence presented, on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history in determining the amount of the fine that will be assessed. Next case, please.
Page 4, item 10, case number L195627, R.E. Chansey and K. Chansey. We have service and no one is present.
Krista Hall with the Development Services Department, case L 195627. Property owner and violator is R.E. Chansey and K. Chansey. Violation address is 404 South St. Cloud Avenue, Valrico. Violation observed, unpermitted removal of one laurel oak tree measuring 27 inches DBH, diameter at 4.5 feet. Ordinance violated is section 4.01.03.a. First inspection, August 28, 2019. First notice, September 4th, 2019. Last inspection, October 1, 2021, 3 inspections. The first inspection was conducted by Jim Rauch on August 28, 2019. The evidence of a stump is shown in the picture. The next inspections were conducted by Tim Knight. He will be able to explain these photos. Tim? Well, he was there earlier today.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, user error. Tim Knight, Natural Resources. There's actually the final inspection, most recent inspection was December 2nd. You have a picture there of the stump. There were no new plantings on the property. There's another picture on the next one from another angle. Again, there are no new plantings on the property. And so, oh, go ahead.
Staff recommendation is that the property owner plant 27 inches DBH, diameter of 4.5 feet height of approved shade restoration trees and or contribute 27 inches to the restoration fund or combination of plantings and contribution to the fund within 60 calendar days. Restoration trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, Florida grade number 1, chosen from the county approved tree list as appropriate. Trees must be a minimum 8 feet in height. Contribution to a restoration fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Fines will be issued for failure to meet timeframes.
Have we had any communication with the owner? I mean, if this is correct, this is August of 2019.
Jim Rauch, Hillsborough County. I left notices on the door. I've left notes on the door and cards. I never did communicate with anybody. I've knocked on the door. I was out there a couple times and there never seemed to be anybody home. It seems as though the property was vacant. And I never received any notice. I don't know if, I left the department, so I don't know if anybody else has.
I've been there twice, sir, on October 1st and December 2nd of this year. There are no signs of the property actually being resided in. It is being taken care of landscaping wise, but there are no signs of any actual activity there, any kind of equipment or materials, like chairs or anything like that on the property. So it may be vacant. And both times I was there, nobody answered the door.
Thank you. I concur with staff's recommendations require the violator to plant 27 inches DBH diameter at 4.5 feet height of approved restoration tree and contribute to contribute 27 inches of restoration fund or a combination of plantings and contribution to the fund within 60 calendar days. Restoration trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, Florida grade 1, chosen from the county approved tree list as appropriate. Trees must be a minimum of 8 feet in height. Contribution to the restoration fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Failure to meet the timelines listed above will result in a daily fine of $200 per day. Next case.
Page 8, item 18, case number L216746, trust number 12007-92. We have service and no one is present.
Krista Hull with the Development Services Department, case L 216746. Property owner is the trust number 12007-92. Violation address is 12007 East 92 Highway, Seffner, Florida. Violation observed, unpermitted removal of 8 laurel oak trees measuring 104 inches DBH and 2 sable palm trees. Ordinance violated is section 4.01.03A. First inspection, March 26, 2021. First notice, April 8, 2021. Last inspection, November 8, 2021. Inspections conducted 3. This photo documentation and evidence will be presented by Tony Hood.
Hello, Tony Hood, Hillsborough County. So this photo was taken by Matthew Campbell, who was the complainant, who was working for Florida Department of Transportation at the time. It shows the stumps that were removed. If you go to the next photo, this shows what happened, or the property as of March 26th when I responded. Shows that trees have recently been removed. And here's a highlighted area showing where the trees were removed in relation to the property. And inspection was done November 8th, 2021. Shows no new replantings. I did speak with a representative yesterday. He has planted the 2 sable palms, and he wanted me, he can't make it to the hearing today, but he wanted to make mention that he plans on planting trees to make the violation correct.
Okay, so Tony, I should adjust the staff recommendation to eliminate the 2 sable palms. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Okay. So the property owner needs to submit a compliant tree restoration or a contribution agreement for 104 inches of shade trees and complete the restoration agreement within 60 calendar days. The violator trust number 12007-92 is responsible for resolving this matter with the county, and fines will be issued for failure to meet the timeframes.
We haven't been out yet to see the 2 sable palms, so is there any reason why we wouldn't keep that in the staff's recommendation?
No, sir, I was able to make it out there yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I missed that part.
They have been confirmed.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. I concur with staff's recommendations on case L216746, require the violator submit a compliant tree restoration and/or contribution agreement for 104 inches of shade trees and complete the restoration agreement within 60 calendar days. The violator trust number 12007-92 is responsible for resolving this matter with the county. Go to meet any of the timelines listed above result in a daily fine of $150 per calendar day. $150 per day.
Page 9, item 21, case number case number L216942, Ricardo Ramos. We have service and no one is present.
Krista Hull with the Development Services Department, case L 216942. Property owner and violator is Ricardo Ramos. Violation address is 14512 Knoll Ridge Drive in Tampa, Florida. Violation observed is unpermitted removal of a 26-inch DBH maple tree. Ordinance violated is section 4.01. First inspection, June 15th, 2021. First notice, July 6th, 2021. Last inspection, November 22nd, 2021. 3 inspections conducted. These photo evidence and documentation will be presented by Wayne Doyen. Wayne, you still there?
Yep, I'm here. Wayne Doyen, Hillsborough County Natural Resources. First visit was 06/15/2021. This tree had been removed without a permit when I was there. This is a Google picture from June 2019. There was no evidence for me. You'll see by the next photo. A new driveway area was put in when my first visit was there. So rechecks of the property 9/9/2021, 11/22/2021. There are no new replantings. I have had conversations with the owners. They keep saying they're going to do tree restoration or pay, but nothing's happened so far. So that's why we're here today.
So the county
Staff-
go ahead, Dwayne.
All right, staff recommendations: plan to donate 26 inches DBH approved shade restoration trees or contribute 26 inches to the restoration fund, or combination of plantings and contribution to the fund within 90 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, minimum 8 feet in height, Florida grade number 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contributions to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Property owner Ricardo Ramos will be responsible for resolving this matter with the county. Fines will be issued for failure to meet timeframes.
Nice job. I concur with staff's recommendations in case L 216942. The violator to plant or donate 26 inches of DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 26 inches to the restoration fund or combination of plantings and contribution to the fund within 90 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Property owner Ricardo Ramos will be responsible for resolving this matter with the county. Fines for failure to meet timelines listed above will result in a fine of $175 per day.
Page 6, item 14, case L 216608. This case complied as of December 1st. Page 7, item 17, case number L 216726. This is rescheduled to February, the February hearing. And that concludes the agenda.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen online, please give me the opportunity to say thank you for everything that you've done this year for this group. And I wish you a joyful, happy holiday season. If I don't get a chance to talk to you next week, and we'll see you in January. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This meeting is adjourned.